We got a lot of characters this year. Some were amazing and some not so much. And with 2023 coming to its end, it is time to decide which of the 5-star characters are the best of the best, especially for free-to-play players. And I'm going to be selecting them based on what they offer in terms of damage and utility and how their kit synergizes with other characters. So with this criteria in mind, here are the 10 5-star characters who I think are the best and will be a good addition to anyone's arsenal. Oh, how the Lord of Geo has fallen. Zhongli has the strongest shield in the game that makes you pretty much invincible, but he severely lacks the damage or utility to replace another sub DPS or support who can buff your other teammates. And now that there are a lot of enemies who can bypass shields and directly damage the health of a character, that makes running a healer necessary in some cases, and it makes Zhongli even more redundant. Still, Zhongli is a welcome addition to any team if you have a free slot, and especially in Geo teams for the Geo resonance. Earlier I said how healers are now necessary to run in some cases, and Kokomi is probably the best healer in the game, and with her elemental skill, she has a lot of off-field hydro application that makes her a great support for powerful reactions such as Vaporize, Bloom, Hyper Bloom, etc. But apart from healing and hydro application, she doesn't have any means to buff her allies, and most free-to-play players will probably not choose to wish for a 5-star healer over a DPS. Well, I wouldn't. I am a little biased towards Child because he is one of my favorite characters, but it is undeniable that he is still to this day a solid DPS, and international team is still a top tier team with many new variations, but all the new Hydro characters are overshadowing Child, and his kit is pretty complex for a new player to understand, but once you master him, he can easily carry you, and he is a great character for domains because of Riptide slashes. He is still a good choice, but not the greatest anymore. The original Pyro DPS. Get out of here, Diluc. Hu Tao is the strongest Pyro DPS. She can output a lot of damage with her charge attacks, and her elemental burst is a nuke, but she desperately needs a shielder because she drains her HP with her elemental skill, and you ideally want to keep her at low HP to get maximum damage from her. But since the release of Dendro, Hyper Bloom is such a strong reaction that does massive damage without needing to invest a lot into a character. Crimson Witch domain. Hu Tao became less popular, and the fact that her main teammates Yelan and Shengcho are also an integral part of the Hyper Bloom team made her even more redundant. But Hu Tao is still one of the top single target DPS, just not the strongest anymore. Raiden Shogun is not only a great DPS but a very good support as well. She can do a ton of damage and at the same time regenerate energy for her teammates. And once again, Dendro made her more versatile by making her a great Hyper Bloom trigger, and she also has a great free-to-play weapon that is a bit painful to farm but absolutely worth it. Raiden Shogun might be one of the best beginner-friendly character, and of course a top-tier character for any free-to-play players as well. Nahida and Dendro single-handedly shifted the meta of Genshin Impact. Dendro is such a great element, and Nahida is the best at utilizing all that Dendro has to offer. She has good damage, has a lot of Dendro application both on and off field, and her elemental burst gives a ton of elemental mastery to the active character. That makes basically any reaction-based team overpowered, and Dendro has a lot of powerful reactions. Building Nahida is also very simple. Give her as much elemental mastery as possible and an elemental mastery weapon, and you will have a powerful support for any team except Geo and Animo. She will torture you and you will enjoy every bit of it. Yelan is a character who does it all. Shit ton of damage, hydro application, gives a damage boost, all while staying off field. Yeah, it doesn't get better than this. She doesn't need some crazy R5 weapon. She can do all this with a Favonius Formo. Yeah, she is cracked. And if you don't have Yelan, what are you doing? Just go and get her. She will make your account very powerful and wet. This Anemo Samurai will always be a top tier character because of what he offers. Kazuha has a lot of utility, not only in battle but for exploration as well. He can provide elemental damage bonus while simultaneously decreasing enemies' elemental resistance with the Viridescent Vendrier set, great crowd control with his elemental skill, and all of his buffs scale with elemental mastery, so he doesn't need a lot of investment, and there are two great free to play elemental mastery swords available. So yeah, Kazuha is and always will be one of the strongest characters. The Hydro Dragon Sovereign is not only one of the strongest lore-wise but gameplay-wise as well. Neuvillette doesn't offer anything except raw damage, but you don't need anything else when you can do this kind of damage, do you? And this is with a 4-star craftable weapon, and he can also self-sustain himself as well with his balls, and the best part is he doesn't need Bennett to do all this. All he needs is 3 different elements to activate his passive, and he will blast everything to molecules with his water laser. He is truly the king of Hydro. Where Nuvolite is the king of Hydro, Furina is the queen of Hydro. Furina can do insane amounts of damage and has a team-wide damage buff all while being off-field. She is like Nuvolite with added support while being off-field, and she has a great free-to-play weapon, the Festering Desire, that has everything that she needs. And come on, you can walk on water indefinitely with her. What more can you ask for? Oh, healing? Yeah, she got that too. Furina has everything that you need in a character. The only downside is that she drains HP from your entire team when her minions do damage, so you will need a dedicated healer with her. All in all, Furina is an awesome character and probably the best character of 2023, or maybe Nuvolite. Both are insane in their own right, but you can let me know your opinions in the comments and watch this awesome free to play Nuvolite build by clicking here.